Hi, this is Steve. Uh, just want to show you a little something about technology and changing reading habits. At least with me. Okay, this is a book. As a matter of fact, it's actually a very good book. If you're into comics, especially the history of comics in the United States, I highly recommend. It's Men of Tomorrow. Geeks and Gangsters and the Birth of the Comic Book by Gerard Jones. It's an excellent book. A lot of the information I'd already known, but some of it was new to me. Jones covers the very beginnings of the industry, talks about the creation of Superman, how superheroes sort of became the focus, and talks about the comic code and other things. Anyways, if you're into comics, check it out. This is a comic book. Also, actually, a good comic book. One of the last of the DC books that I was reading, and this is actually the last part of the last batch of comics that I did pick up. Frankenstein Age of Shade #9. Uh, with all the changes at DC, I don't even know if the book is still being published, but I was enjoying it while I was reading it. But I decided it was just basically good to sort of go cold turkey. The reason I show those is that for years, the only way to read books and comics was to actually get them in the library, buy them, things like that, in these formats, which really haven't changed a great deal since, the times of Gutenberg and the first books. And talking hundreds of years, and probably for the last 80, 85 years of comic books. They've gone from being 10 cents to being $2.99 and up, and gone from being about 54 pages to about 22, 23. But they're pretty much the same, at least the monthly comics. I started reading comics when I was about 7 or 8 years old, thanks to my mom, who had actually read comics as a kid. I started when I was going in to have my tonsils removed, and my mother felt I needed something, uh, to sort of get me through the night, since, it was, a scary thing, being in the hospital, not knowing anyone. So she bought me comic books, and that was the beginning of my 50 plus year addiction. Um, anyways, that was pretty much it. Then when computers came along, probably it was inevitable that books and magazines would eventually follow. Well, here's my laptop. It's a Gateway. It's probably about uh, 6 years old at this point, and it probably need a new one. But it was good. I could read magazines, the online things online. I was able to download articles and even books and web comics. But even a laptop, it's kind of difficult to walk around with it. So about 4 years ago, I got this. This is my Nook, which was great. I absolutely love it. Totally addiction. I have hundreds of books, probably more downloaded um, to my Nook. Everything from uh, classic novels, Edgar Allan Poe, Mark Twain, Of course, all the Sherlock Holmes books by Doyle, stuff by Lovecraft, Edgar Rice Burroughs, along with contemporary fiction. But it's great. Like I said, I love it. And I probably read more on this than I do anything else. You can see from the way the cover looks that it's pretty beaten. I'm taking it on cruises. I take it with me to work. Wherever I go, I can take the Nook along and I don't bother. But the thing with the Nook, at least the classic version that I have, it's black and white. And it's great for reading text. You can't really read comics. And then a few years ago, people started putting comics online. We'd had web comics for a while, and people were doing comic strips. But for for companies to actually publish their comics, which you could download to your computer, that was pretty novel. And then along came Comicology. It's probably the best known, and other apps that you could download to your iPhone or your iPad and everything. And which I did. And here's my iPhone. And I have Comicology. Oops, we can get it right. There's Comicology there. Can you see it? There it is. Which is cool. Christina talked Don and I into upgrading our phones, getting the iPhones last year, and probably within 2 or 3 days of having it, I decided to download it. And it's great. But of course, it is small, but it's convenient. So then, at Christmas, thanks to Donna and Christina, I was able to get my new iPad. And of course, Comicology again. So I'm reading comics online. And as with the Nook, I can carry around dozens of issues of the book. So in future, when I do review comics, they're probably going to be the online variety that I've downloaded. And I hope to start doing that pretty soon, since I do sort of miss comics. But these are free. Oh, I also want to recommend the Dark Horse app. Also, because first of all, I read a lot of. I love Hellboy, BPRD, Lobster, Johnson, and that whole Mike Mignola verse of characters, along with other Dark Horse characters. And a lot of it is, a number of those issues are free, so it's kind of cool. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to show you, what I'm doing, and the fact that I am surrounded by technology, which most of which I can't understand, but it's kind of cool. I mean, that nights, Don and I sit there both with our iPads and our iPhones, playing games. The TV's going. My laptop's open so I can play, games on Facebook, which don't play as well on iPhones and iPads. And anyways, that's it. I just want to. While I'm at it, I want to recommend, if you go onto your iPhone, it's something called the Carrier. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, it's called the Carrier. If you go to carrier.com, you can download the book. And I don't think you can see it, can you? No, it's probably too much. Anyway, Download The Carrier. The Carrier is a graphic novel by Evan Young. And it involves terrorism, biological warfare, espionage. And the novel thing about it, part expression, was that it comes in two forms. There's the graphic novel itself, like it's about 100 plus pages, which you can download to your iPad and read it as you would a graphic novel. Or, and this is what I highly recommend, is if you download it to your iPhone, it's a 10-day interactive experience where you actually go through the book in real time with parts of the book taking place during the day, and as things happen, the segments of the book are sent to you. You also get notifications with like in your email and etc., or messages from fictitious newspapers, weather reports, and weather alerts from countries where the story takes place, newspaper articles about giving you a little more background on events as they're taking place. It's cool. I love it. There's only have a day or two left. As they say, it's a 10-day experience, and I think I have maybe a couple days left. But I absolutely love it. I've never heard of anything, but I highly recommend it. Again, it's called The Carrier, and by Evan Young. Go to The Carrier, all one word, TheCarrier.com, and give it a look. I highly recommend it. I've never, as I said, I've never experienced anything like this before, and I think it's a great concept. It's a new way of using comics online. This is something you could not do in the old-fashioned comic book. Anyways, ramble on too long, but I just wanted to sort of get that out there, let you know what I'm up to and what I'm doing. So anyways, TGIF, although I'm working tomorrow, and have a good day. And as usual,